Welcome back to Stationeers. It's day 17, and I've just realized that we have a much bigger problem than just not having the water we need to survive. Because the crate also had all our potato seeds. That's pretty devastating. Now, we do have some options. Our only chance is basically to rush trading. We need to get trading going, and we need to do it really fast. But that, of course, needs steel, and we did essentially run out of fuel. So we need to mix new fuel, or we need to get the arc welder. Now, so far we have managed to collect 8 cobalt. That's not a lot of cobalt.
Airtag critical.
It is more than enough to get us steel. That should be fine. However, it's not even close to enough for making invar. But I am going to try anyway. We'll see how much we can collect. Everything is ready, so let's just go outside and see how much we can find. Unfortunately, cobalt is really rare. We do have a few deposits nearby, so that's nice, but they are always very small, and you get very little cobalt from each of them. Now, random generator is involved, of course. If we get really lucky, we can get decent amounts. But I think that the minimum we'll need to make invar is around 70, 60, something like that, with the corresponding amount of silver, of course, but silver is fine. There's shouldn't really be a problem getting the silver. Now, if we don't go for the arc welder, we'll need to collect a lot fewer resources. That's the good part. The bad part is we'll need to mix the fuel for the welder. Now, we don't need a lot of fuel, but we do want to use the super fuel, which uses nitrogen oxide as a oxidizer, just because it will make us use the volatiles more efficiently. It can create much hotter flame with less volatiles. It's cleaner even. I think that even in the latest version it only emits nitrogen and maybe carbon dioxide. In any case, it shouldn't emit anything toxic. As long as it burns properly, of course. On the other hand, superfuel is really dangerous. It will auto-ignite at like 50 degrees Celsius. And there's also the problem that nitrogen dioxide or nitrogen oxides condense very readily. So we can't build up too much pressure. So that means we'll have to take our furnace gases, cool them down, all the way down to like 20. Mix things together, do a bit of welding, and then just refill and work again. I did a few tests. We don't need much. We should be able to do it in one run, if we can get everything going properly. But it's definitely risky. Now, to make this worthwhile, I want to make at least 200 steel. We don't strictly need that much, but steel does disappear very quickly. And I think we'll want to at least use radiators to exchange the heat from the cooling, because we don't want to deal with mixing up all those pipelines. We don't want to keep pumping them out. Now, a heat exchanger is much slower than just mixing it air, unsurprisingly. Oh yeah, we need to refill and we need to empty our gas. So we didn't even get enough iron. We did get a decent amount of cobalt, actually. That was fairly lucky. I don't think it's going to last, really.
Air tank critical.
There we go. So what we have here is definitely enough for making steel. We should have the coal, yes. Oh yeah. While I'm talking, it's nice to have air. There. Let me put you there. Need to improve this a lot.
Low pressure.
We do have quite a bit of iron. We can use this one. We don't care about... oh, I shouldn't keep it there for so long because it's going to heat up our suit internals.
Hydration critical.
This is good enough. Now, if possible, we want to jump out as quickly as we can and continue mining while it's still daylight. We have plenty of power right now, but we can't keep it running while we're outside. This is going to drain the battery very quickly, as usual. But we are producing decent amount of power, surprisingly. There. We want at least another stack of ore. And if we want to make invar, we'll also need nickel and even more iron, of course. We have the silver, we have the cobalt. Now, the arc welder is really nice to have. I would prefer to have it if we can. But it means we need to get the furnace up to horrendous temperatures and most importantly pressures. We can do the temperature easily, but not with 20 megapascals of air. It is a bit crazy. Now, our oxygen is slowly depleting. We'll want to deal with that. We still have some in storage, but that still needs to be cooled down. And we're not even going to be able to cool down our waste gases, it seems. How much is there left? Yeah, the sun is going down. Options exist, and they are not great. Let's go slowly. We don't want to do too much at a time. I think we want to go up to about 300 moles of oxygen again. That's fine. There. And it's dark outside. Should stop the cooling. Oh, yeah, too late. No matter. Now, operating the furnace is not actually too complicated. Oh, and it already cooled down to way below Venus atmosphere. Again, It's a bit cheaty. I don't know how I feel about it. And we actually have a lot of nitrous oxides in there already, so we could make our steel just now and be done with it. Do we want to go all in, or should I just do the sensible thing? We almost have enough for 200 steel, which would be ideal. For every 3 iron, we need coal, 1 coal. So could do 120 and 40. That would be decent. So, is it really a good idea to try and deal with the superfuel? I don't know. But we did get into a lot of trouble by just being too greedy already. We don't have anything useful in here, I think. Yeah, 10 moles of oxygen. Wonderful. 42 degrees is not too bad. We can't really cool it down very well anymore. So yeah, let's get going then. Take a little bit from here. How much do we need? 11. We want to degas all of this before we do anything else. It's not strictly necessary, but it makes it much easier to maintain the right temperature and pressure. It will waste some of those gases, which can be useful, but we'll also have to use so much more that it doesn't matter that much. Now I think that we're not going to have... Yeah, the air is already too cold, so I think we'll just have to waste that nitrous oxides. Those nitrous oxides, rather. There we go. We want to store it. Did we? Yeah. We are not going to waste stuff. We are going to need a pump. I'll just make another one. We should have enough of everything to do that. Iron, copper, and a bit of gold. Oh, we have no gold. Really? Now again, the air in the furnace is always going to be a bit hotter than what we have from the arc furnace. It's not that big of a deal. And again, I'm not going to be too crazy about not using this. We're just not going to use it until we get a decent cooling solution without it. There. It would be nice if you could change the ports on this. It would improve the design of the cables quite a lot. Now, we'll also want to eventually replace this with something that can pump in or out. There's a lot of improvements we can do. This is still a very early base. We still have to do a lot of things manually. We still don't even have solar tracking. Now I could do solar tracking using just these little guys. We have everything we need for those. But I don't want to. There. Now the nitrous oxides are going to condense, I think. Oh, they're definitely going to condense. Or the temperature is actually quite high, so maybe not. And the pump works with volume, which means that it will pump out the more common things first. We might even get to keep some of the nitrous oxides in there, if everything goes right. Yeah, no. Pressure's going up. Yeah, it's way too hot for the nitrous oxide to condense, so that's good.
Waste tank critical.
We are going to use most of these. Even the pollutant is actually quite useful for some stages of cooling. It's not so good as a cooling gas anymore for the whole base because it's too dangerous. It will condense in your pipes and that's going to be a problem. We can deal with it, but is it worth it? Probably not. Yeah, turbines are producing quite a bit of power. That's good. We didn't even run out of power yet. That is a bit of a surprise. Yeah, most of the air is gone. Now, from what I can tell, this is too little nitrous oxide to even start combustion.
Hunger critical.
We don't need to wait for this to get out anymore. Should be fine. Power, good. Cooling. Yep. It's not 20 degrees, but it's good enough. Yeah. Now we'll want to charge this with a little bit of air from the outside. We don't need much, but what we do want is keep the temperature up so that the volatiles don't have to do as much work. And for steel, we just need a 627 degrees and 1 megapascal, which is not a problem really. Yeah, that's not really much problem. The pressure is going to increase as we increase temperature. This should be more than enough. And now we just need to put 2 cobalt and 2 silver in it. 1 is not enough, it's not going to burn. So even though we don't need that much heat, we can't really use less. And it's the morning, so see you at the next episode.